February is American Heart Month, and this morning we want to talk about heart valve disease. It affects millions of people each year, and most adults, 75%, admit they know very little about it.
And there's a group in Minnesota supporting those diagnosed with aortic and heart valve disease, and does so through power of music.
Yeah, Pete and Amy Johnson are here to tell us a little bit more about their nonprofit. It is called Rock from the Heart. Welcome, you two.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So Rock from the Heart, tell us about it.
Well, so Rock from the Heart was started years ago. We started in 2019, but the idea came after Pete got a surprise diagnosis of aortic and heart valve disease. Went for a routine physical, walked out with the diagnosis of needing open heart surgery to replace his valve and repair his aorta. And it just takes you aback because, number one, we'd never heard of either of these heart conditions. And number two, he'd been told in the past that he'd had a heart murmur that was just brushed off as innocent. So it was a scary.
How did doctors tell? I mean, you go in for your physical. Is it just the standard stethoscope listening to your heart and your doctor says, wait a minute? Or how did that go for you?
Yeah, in my case, every physical I've had since the age of 12, they say, oh, we hear a little heart murmur, but that's probably just fine, nothing to worry about. You get those now and then. Well, in 2015, my doctor said, let's take a look at that heart murmur because it's kind of loud. So they send me to do like ladies would do an ultrasound to see what sex your baby is. They do that to your heart, and that's how they do it. So it doesn't hurt, but they get a good look. And he says, wow, you have an aneurysm that's growing out to here, and you were born with what's called a bicuspid heart valve, which is your heart valves are like a piece of pizza cut in 3 pieces. Mine's like a piece of pizza cut in 2 pieces.
Oh.
Is the easy way
And
to
how
know
are you
it.
feeling now?
Yeah.
Well, I feel good. I have a mechanical heart valve now, and I hear it click a little bit. So as a drummer, it makes for some good fodder for jokes.
Some rhythm in there.
Pacemaker, and pacemaker to keep things in time. No, it feels fine. I'm healthier than I was before it happened. It allowed me to lose some weight now, and I mean, I don't run out of breath going up the stairs anymore.
Wow. Did you feel fine before?
Well, I did, but I'd always had a bicuspid heart valve, so it's the only way I knew how to feel.
Right.
So after it was all done, about a year after that,
You
it's
were
like,
like,
oh, yeah, I don't run out of breath. I can sing higher. I can mow the lawn and enjoy it instead of dread it.
And, oh, sorry.
Well, I was going to say, and I would imagine getting this diagnosis, you guys kind of went online and you had problems finding really any information about this, which that stat of 75% of Americans know very little about.
Only stories of death and people's heads who've swollen up to here because the anesthesia went wrong.
Oh,
that's what I found online.
I always found bad stuff.
So that's what we want to try and counteract is, hey, let's have some stories of hope and success and guys like me who are like, hey, I feel better now, you know?
So it's not just the education part, you also offer support.
Yeah, it's really because that fear when we first went, I went to the internet the first place, and that's what I found. I said, we want people, when they walk out of the doctor's office like Pete did, and when they go to the internet, we want them to find those stories of hope, successful outcomes, and a community. And that's really what makes Rock from the Heart different. And what we've tried to build is, by bringing in the music and the education 2-day model, we all come together in one place to share our successes, to learn about it. And one of the most amazing things that's come out of it is our people who've come in who have no connection to aortic or heart valve disease, 90% of them, within a year, meet somebody who did. So instead of just saying, oh, you got this, they can say, you know what, there's a whole community of people that are going to support you on this journey.
And you kind of went the music route with the fundraiser because you've been a musician all your life, Pete.
We did, yeah. So we made a few baby steps. We got to where we're doing national acts that are, like more around my age, 80s music, 90s music. One of my bands always opens a show, and we call it Aortic Fire. It's a gathering of musicians that I've enjoyed working with over time. We formed the opening act, and well, speaking of older musicians who have had heart surgery, Gina, the drummer from the Go-Go's, We learned that she had an open heart surgery. In fact, I knew it back then because I saw the Go-Go's here in '82 at the Met Center, and she had her surgery in '84, I believe.
I was there.
And
Hey,
so I
gay.
followed that through Circus Magazine. Anyway, we got a hold of Gita and said, hey, you want to come play some songs with my opening act, Aortic Fire? She said, who are you? No.
Well, tell
I
us
said,
about that.
I'm a fan and a drummer. She said, good enough for me. I'm coming. This sounds fun. So she came to Fargo last May, played Go-Go songs with us. And now
Fun.
she's coming this Saturday to Minneapolis or St. Paul to play some more Go-Go songs in the opening act.
Is that the beginning of the growth? Because it seems like the community has really grown.
It's been steady over time. We had a big, we got some momentum, and then COVID. So then we kind of had to go back down, and we've been building that momentum again. And this year feels like it's really kind of that springboard that's going to take us to the next level and really reach a broader audience with our message.
So tell us about the event this weekend. Tell us about the fundraiser.
So Friday is the Aortic Ed sessions. That's at the St. Paul Hotel, where we'll have speakers, followed by a reception and a dinner. And then Saturday is the concert at the Palace Theater, where Aortic Fire, with special guest drummer Gina Schock, will open up the show, and then Spin Doctors are coming in.
Oh.
So we're really excited. We're kind of taking a little leap out of the 80s, just a little bit,
Yeah.
for a different vibe. And again, the people who listened to this music are the ones who need to be getting their hearts checked now because they're at that age.
Tell us about the age aspect of things, because again, people don't know about this.
So people like Pete who have like a bicuspid valve, if it's going to start to deteriorate, it's usually when you're in your late 40s, early 50s, and 60s.
Okay.
With aortic disease, aortic valve disease, if it becomes like stenosis, that tightening of the valve, can really start affecting people even without a bicuspid valve in their mid 60s to 70s.
And you have a special day coming up as proclamated by the governor. Tell us about that.
Yes, February 22nd is National Heart Valve Disease Awareness Day. We do have a proclamation from the state of Minnesota. This is, I believe, our 4th year that we've gotten that proclamation. And the first time this year, we're lighting up the bridge. We are lighting up the I-35W
very
bridge
nice.
on the 22nd for Heart Valve Disease Awareness
And
Day.
what color? What do we look for?
Red and teal are
Red
the
and
national
teal.
colors for the campaign.
Good
Very
to know.
nice. Thank you so much.
Pete and Amy, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for
Thanks
being
for
here.
having us.
We'll put a link on how to purchase tickets to Rock from the Heart. That's happening this Friday and Saturday on MinnesotaLive.com.